Have you ever wondered why some small business owners build profitable, financially stable companies while others struggle, even with great products and strong sales? The difference is often not the business itself. It is the way the owner manages money. In this video, we're sharing 7 practical steps to manage your small business finances like a CFO. Step number 1. The CFO mindset starts with understanding financial reality. One of the biggest differences between an average business owner and an experienced CFO is how they view financial information. Many owners make decisions based on feelings. If sales seem strong, they spend more money. If the bank account looks low, they suddenly cut expenses without understanding the real cause of the problem. A CFO works very differently. Every important decision begins with facts, not emotions. Imagine a business that generates approximately $100,000 in monthly revenue. At first glance, everything appears healthy. However, after reviewing the numbers carefully, the owner discovers that customer acquisition costs have increased by nearly 30%. Supplier prices have risen steadily, and profit margins have quietly declined over the past 6 months. Sales remained stable, but profitability continued shrinking. A CFO would identify these warning signs long before they became a crisis. Instead of reacting after cash becomes tight, they monitor financial indicators every month and adjust pricing, purchasing, or operating expenses before problems grow larger. This proactive approach gives the business far more control over its future. Successful financial management is not about predicting the future perfectly. It is about recognizing trends early enough to make smarter decisions. When you consistently measure financial performance instead of guessing, your business becomes more stable, more profitable, and much easier to grow over time. Step number 2. Build a financial dashboard before you make bigger decisions. One of the first things a professional CFO creates is a financial dashboard. This is not a complicated spreadsheet filled with hundreds of numbers. Instead, it is a simple system that highlights the most important financial indicators needed to run the business. Many small business owners only check revenue because it is the easiest number to find. Unfortunately, revenue alone does not reveal whether the business is becoming healthier or weaker. A financial dashboard should include monthly revenue, gross profit, operating expenses, net profit, available cash, accounts receivable, accounts payable, inventory value, and operating cash flow. It should also track customer acquisition cost, average customer value, and profit margin if those numbers are relevant to the business model. Imagine a company that reports monthly sales of $120,000. Revenue looks excellent, but the dashboard shows that accounts receivable have increased from $20,000 to $60,000 over the last 3 months. That means customers are taking much longer to pay their invoices. While sales continue rising, actual cash entering the business is slowing down. A CFO immediately recognizes this as a potential cash flow problem and begins improving payment collection before payroll or supplier payments become difficult. Without a dashboard, the owner might celebrate higher sales while ignoring the growing financial risk. Numbers become valuable only when they help you make better decisions. Reviewing a financial dashboard every week creates awareness, removes uncertainty, and helps you identify small issues before they become expensive problems. Step number 3. Separate cash flow from profit because they are never the same. One of the most important lessons every CFO understands is that profit and cash flow are completely different measurements. Many businesses appear profitable on paper while struggling to pay bills because cash is not arriving when it is needed. Profit measures how much money remains after subtracting expenses from revenue over a specific period. Cash flow measures when money actually enters and leaves the business. Timing makes a tremendous difference. Consider a consulting company that completes a project worth $50,000 in January. According to accounting records, the company records the revenue immediately and reports a healthy monthly profit. However, the client does not pay the invoice until 90 days later. During those 3 months, the business still has to pay employee salaries, office rent, software subscriptions, insurance, taxes, and marketing expenses. Even though the company appears profitable, the bank account continues shrinking because cash has not yet arrived. A CFO constantly monitors this timing difference. They forecast future cash inflows, schedule major purchases carefully, negotiate payment terms with suppliers, and encourage customers to pay invoices sooner. Some businesses even offer small discounts for early payments because receiving cash faster often provides greater value than waiting several months for the full amount. Cash flow keeps the business operating every day. Profit helps build long-term wealth. A financially strong business needs both, but if cash stops flowing, even a profitable company can quickly face serious financial pressure. Thinking like a CFO means managing both numbers with equal attention rather than assuming they always move together. Step number 4. Learn to forecast your cash instead of reacting to it. One of the most valuable skills every CFO develops is cash flow forecasting. Instead of waiting to see how much money remains at the end of the month, they estimate future cash movement weeks or even months in advance. This allows them to prepare for shortages before they happen. Many small business owners only react after cash becomes tight. By then, they may delay supplier payments, postpone marketing campaigns, or rely on expensive loans simply to keep operations running. A CFO avoids this situation by building a rolling cash forecast. Imagine a manufacturing business expecting customer payments totaling $180,000 over the next 60 days. At the same time, scheduled expenses include employee salaries, raw materials, equipment maintenance, rent, insurance, taxes, and loan repayments totaling $220,000. The forecast immediately reveals a projected cash shortage of $40,000. Because the problem is identified early, management has time to collect outstanding invoices faster, delay non-essential purchases, negotiate extended supplier payment terms, or arrange affordable financing before the shortage becomes urgent. Without forecasting, the business would discover the problem only when the bank balance became dangerously low. A simple spreadsheet updated every week can provide tremendous visibility into future cash movement. The goal is not to predict every dollar perfectly. The goal is to eliminate surprises. Businesses rarely fail because a problem appears overnight. They struggle because warning signs were visible long before anyone took action. Forecasting gives you time to solve financial problems while you still have multiple options available. Step number 5. Every dollar should have a purpose before you spend it. Professional CFO do not approve spending simply because money is available in the bank account. Every expense must support a measurable business objective. Small business owners often make purchases based on excitement, convenience, or fear of missing an opportunity. While some of those purchases may provide value, many quietly reduce profitability without delivering meaningful results. Before approving any expense, a CFO asks several practical questions. Will this investment increase revenue? Will it reduce operating costs? Will it improve productivity? Will it strengthen customer retention? Will it lower business risk? If the answer to most of these questions is no, the expense is usually delayed or rejected. Consider a business with an extra $30,000 available after a strong sales quarter. The owner considers renovating the office with expensive furniture and decorative upgrades. At the same time, another option is investing the same amount into automation software that reduces administrative work by 20 hours each week and improves customer response times. The office renovation may look impressive, but it generates little financial return. The automation system, however, saves labor costs, increases operational efficiency, and allows employees to focus on higher value activities that contribute directly to business growth. A CFO chooses investments based on expected return rather than personal preference. Over several years, this disciplined approach creates a significant competitive advantage. Businesses become stronger not because they spend more money, but because they consistently allocate capital toward activities that produce measurable financial benefits. Learning to evaluate every dollar as an investment rather than an expense is one of the most powerful habits a business owner can develop. Many small business owners believe that increasing sales automatically leads to greater financial success. A CFO knows this is not always true. Revenue can grow every month while profit steadily declines if costs increase faster than income. This is why experienced financial leaders focus on protecting profit margins rather than celebrating sales numbers alone. Profit margin shows how much money the business actually keeps after covering its costs. Imagine two companies that each generate annual revenue of $1 million. The first company earns a net profit margin of 3%, while the second earns a margin of 15%. Although both businesses have identical sales, the second company retains 5 times more profit. That extra profit can be reinvested into hiring skilled employees, purchasing better equipment, expanding marketing efforts, or building a stronger cash reserve. A CFO reviews profit margins by product, service, customer, and even sales channel. They identify areas where costs have quietly increased or pricing has failed to keep pace with inflation. They also eliminate low-margin products that consume valuable time without generating meaningful returns. Instead of asking, "How can we sell more?" they often ask, "How can we earn more from every sale?" Small improvements in pricing, purchasing, production efficiency, and operating expenses can dramatically improve profitability without requiring additional customers. Managing margins consistently creates a healthier business that grows through financial strength rather than constant pressure to increase sales volume. Sustainable businesses are built on profitable growth, not simply bigger revenue numbers. Step number 6. Budget like a CFO by planning every dollar before the month begins. A budget is much more than a list of expected expenses. To a CFO, it is a financial roadmap that guides every important business decision. Without a budget, spending becomes reactive, priorities become unclear, and financial surprises become much more common. Many small business owners create annual budgets and never review them again. A CFO treats the budget as a living document that is updated regularly as business conditions change. Suppose a software company expects monthly revenue of $150,000. Before the month begins, management allocates specific amounts for payroll, marketing, product development, customer support, rent, insurance, software subscriptions, taxes, and emergency reserves. As the month progresses, actual spending is compared against the planned budget. If marketing expenses exceed expectations while customer acquisition remains unchanged, the CFO investigates immediately rather than waiting until the end of the quarter. Likewise, if operating costs come in below budget, those savings may be redirected toward high return opportunities instead of being spent unnecessarily. This ongoing comparison between planned and actual performance helps management understand where money is being used effectively and where improvements are needed. Budgeting also improves accountability because every department understands its financial responsibilities before spending begins. Rather than limiting growth, a well-designed budget provides the confidence to invest aggressively when opportunities offer strong returns. A CFO views budgeting as a decision-making tool that keeps the business financially disciplined while still allowing room for strategic growth and innovation. Step number 7. Measure business performance with financial ratios, not just revenue. Professional CFO rarely make decisions based on a single number. Instead, they evaluate a group of financial ratios that reveal the true health of the business. Revenue may tell you how much the company sold, but it does not explain whether operations are becoming stronger or weaker. Financial ratios provide that deeper understanding. For example, the current ratio helps determine whether the business has enough short-term assets to cover upcoming obligations. The gross profit margin shows how efficiently products or services are being delivered. The operating margin measures how well day-to-day expenses are being controlled. Inventory turnover reveals whether products are moving quickly or sitting in storage for too long. Accounts receivable turnover indicates how efficiently customers are paying their invoices. Imagine a retail business that increases annual sales from $800,000 to $1 million. At first, this appears to be excellent progress. However, financial ratios reveal that inventory turnover has slowed significantly. Receivables have doubled, and operating margin has fallen from 14% to 9%. Those numbers tell a very different story. The business is selling more, but it is becoming less efficient and less profitable. A CFO uses these indicators to identify weaknesses before they become serious financial problems. Even small businesses can calculate these ratios using basic accounting reports and simple spreadsheets. Reviewing them every month creates a clear picture of financial performance that goes far beyond revenue alone. When you consistently monitor financial ratios, your decisions become based on evidence rather than assumptions, allowing you to improve profitability while reducing unnecessary financial risk. One of the most overlooked responsibilities of a CFO is risk management. Many business owners assume risk only refers to economic recessions or unexpected disasters. In reality, financial risk exists in everyday operations and often develops quietly over time. A CFO constantly asks, what could threaten this business financially, and how can we reduce that risk today? Imagine a company where nearly 60% of total revenue comes from one major customer. If that customer suddenly changes suppliers or experiences financial difficulties, the business could lose more than half of its income almost overnight. A CFO would identify this concentration risk early and develop a strategy to diversify the customer base before the company becomes too dependent on a single relationship. The same principle applies to suppliers. Relying on only one supplier for critical inventory creates unnecessary vulnerability if production delays or price increases occur. Risk management also includes maintaining adequate insurance coverage, protecting against cyber threats, reviewing contracts carefully, monitoring debt levels, and building emergency cash reserves. Another common risk is failing to prepare for rising operating costs. Inflation, wage increases, or higher transportation expenses can slowly reduce profitability if pricing strategies are not adjusted in time. CFO regularly evaluate these possibilities and create contingency plans so the business can respond quickly when conditions change. Financial success is not determined only by how well a company performs during good times. It is also determined by how effectively it prepares for challenges before they occur. A business that actively manages risk is far more likely to remain stable, profitable, and competitive for many years. Many owners know their sales numbers but have very little understanding of their spending patterns. They may check their bank balance occasionally, but they rarely analyze expenses carefully. This creates financial blind spots that quietly drain cash over time. Start reviewing every expense category at least once each month. Look at subscriptions, software tools, advertising costs, office supplies, utilities, travel expenses, and operational spending. Ask yourself whether each expense contributes directly to growth, customer satisfaction, or efficiency. If the answer is no, consider reducing or eliminating it. Small expenses may appear insignificant individually, but together they can represent thousands of dollars each year. Business owners who understand their spending habits gain more control over their finances and make better decisions. The second secret is paying yourself first. Most business owners wait until the end of the month to see if any money remains for savings. Unfortunately, something always demands attention. A supplier invoice arrives, equipment needs replacement, or another expense appears unexpectedly. Instead, treat savings as a mandatory business expense. Decide on a percentage of revenue that automatically moves into a separate savings account. Even a small percentage creates momentum over time. When savings become automatic, you stop depending on motivation or discipline. The system works in the background while you focus on running your business. Consistency matters much more than large contributions made occasionally. The third secret involves separating business money from personal money. Mixing finances creates confusion, inaccurate reporting, and unnecessary stress. It also becomes difficult to understand whether your business is truly profitable. Maintain dedicated accounts for business operations, taxes, emergency reserves, and long-term savings goals. This simple practice provides clarity and helps you make better decisions. When money has a specific purpose, it is less likely to be spent impulsively. You begin treating savings as an important business asset rather than extra cash available for spending. The fourth secret is focusing on profitability instead of revenue. Many owners celebrate increasing sales while ignoring shrinking margins. High revenue does not automatically create wealth. Profit creates wealth. A business generating substantial sales but minimal profits may struggle financially despite appearing successful. Improving profitability often has a greater impact than increasing sales. Look for opportunities to increase pricing strategically, reduce waste, negotiate better supplier agreements, and improve operational efficiency. Small improvements in profit margins can produce meaningful increases in savings over time. The fifth secret is building an emergency fund before pursuing aggressive expansion. Many businesses fail because they operate without financial protection. Unexpected challenges happen in every industry. Customers delay payments, equipment breaks down, economic conditions change, and emergencies occur without warning. Having cash reserves provides stability during difficult periods. Instead of relying on loans or credit cards, you can solve problems using your own resources. Financial security reduces stress and allows you to make decisions from a position of confidence rather than fear. A healthy reserve fund protects the business and supports long-term growth. The sixth secret is improving cash flow management. Profitability is important, but cash flow keeps businesses alive. Companies often fail not because they lack sales, but because money arrives too slowly. Send invoices immediately. Follow up consistently on overdue payments. Encourage early payments through incentives when appropriate. Establish clear payment terms and communicate expectations clearly with customers. The faster money enters your business, the easier it becomes to build savings and maintain financial stability. The seventh secret involves controlling lifestyle inflation. As businesses grow, owners often increase personal spending rapidly. They upgrade vehicles, purchase expensive equipment, move into larger offices, and adopt higher lifestyles. Growth should not automatically mean higher spending. Instead, allow your savings rate to increase as revenue grows. Maintain reasonable spending habits and prioritize financial security. Temporary sacrifices can create permanent advantages. Building savings today provides freedom and flexibility tomorrow. The eighth secret is tracking key financial numbers regularly. Business owners who monitor financial performance consistently tend to save more money because they identify problems earlier. Review your profit margins, operating costs, cash reserves, accounts receivable, and monthly savings progress. Numbers tell stories. They reveal trends, highlight inefficiencies, and expose areas requiring attention. When you understand your numbers, financial decisions become easier and more strategic. The ninth secret is creating multiple income streams. Depending entirely on one source of revenue increases risk significantly. Consider adding complementary products, services, educational resources, consulting opportunities, or recurring revenue models. Diversified income provides additional stability and creates opportunities to accelerate savings. Even modest additional income streams can contribute thousands of dollars annually toward long-term financial goals. The 10th secret is learning to delay gratification. Saving your first $50,000 requires patience. Many business owners seek immediate rewards and overlook long-term benefits. Before making purchases, ask yourself whether the expense supports future growth or simply satisfies a temporary desire. Delaying unnecessary spending allows capital to remain inside the business, where it can generate additional value. Financial discipline compounds over time. The decisions you make today influence your financial position years from now. Another important strategy is setting clear savings milestones. A goal feels more achievable when divided into smaller targets. Instead of focusing only on $50,000, celebrate milestones along the journey. Saving $5,000, then $10,000, then $20,000 creates motivation and momentum. Progress builds confidence. Each milestone represents proof that your systems are working and your financial habits are improving. It is also important to remember that comparison can be dangerous. Many entrepreneurs compare themselves to competitors, social media personalities, or other business owners. Appearances can be misleading. Some businesses generate impressive revenue but carry significant debt. Others may look successful while struggling behind the scenes. Focus on your own financial journey. Measure progress against your previous results rather than someone else's circumstances. Saving money is not about impressing people. It is about creating freedom, reducing stress, and increasing opportunities. Finally, understand that your first $50,000 is more than a number. It represents discipline, better decision-making, improved systems, and stronger financial awareness. It demonstrates that your business can generate wealth, not just activity. Once you save your first $50,000, the next milestone often becomes easier because the habits already exist. You understand your numbers, control spending, manage cash flow effectively, and prioritize long-term stability. Business finance is not about becoming rich overnight. It is about making intelligent decisions repeatedly until those decisions transform your financial future. Start today. Review your expenses, automate savings, improve profitability, protect your cash flow, and commit to consistent action. If you found this video helpful, then like, share, and subscribe this channel to get future videos. Thank you for watching this video.